Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, glad to be back. I know it's been a few weeks. I've still been having pretty solid finds at the yard sales, and two finds today kind of set me over the bar. Like, okay, I gotta definitely film a pickup video. The first one, it goes back a few weeks. I think it was just 2 weeks ago. Me and Jack went out yard sailing for the day. Hit a couple neighborhoods. We had a good few finds here and there, but kind of one find really like stood out above the others. So we went up to the house, they had a few DVDs out, we asked if they had any video game stuff, and they said, oh, let's go in and check. Came out some PS4 games and a few 3DS games. Now, some of the 3DS games, they had like Yoshi and Poochie's Woolly World, but it was like, there was nothing in the case. So I do add their number, I was like, and they're like, hey, just check in whenever we come across it. I checked in, I think last week, and I haven't heard anything, so hopefully we hear back on those, but they said $1 a game. Pretty great. Jack got Super Mystery Dungeon for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon for 3DS, and I got Pokemon Ultra Moon for $1. They are doing $1 a game, and it is complete. I don't think this game had a manual. So for $1, another Pokemon game I don't have. Awesome. And then for like a midday, I think it was like a Friday, the Friday before last. They posted on Facebook Marketplace, and they had a few DS games. I was like, hey, do you have any more? They did, and I got Chibi Robo Park Patrol. And this game is like, it's gotten up there in value. I think it's like a $45 game now. I paid $15, I believe. And I've really been looking for the GameCube one forever, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So for $15, you know, pretty good value there. And then last weekend, I was messaging someone on Facebook Marketplace, and like midway through the day, they said, "Oh, we actually have some stuff. We have some video game stuff." And I sent a picture, and I saw some 3DS games. I saw an Xbox 360 game of interest. I'm just realizing I forgot the Xbox 360 game. It was NCAA College Football 14, which is $8 game or so. It was like the last year they made the series. That was $5, and then for $5 each, I got Pokemon Y and Pokemon Sun. Great games. Also, always awesome to find Pokemon games. $5 a piece, great deal. Yeah, just an awesome find. And then that same day, they had some stuff out. I ended up picking up some Le Creuset mugs from them for like $1 each. Pretty solid finds. But the premier find, the pretty premiere, I don't know, tongue twister. They said they had an Xbox. So I was like, I wasn't getting my hopes up. They went inside and they pulled out this, which is, it's one of the last like Xbox One editions. Like it's the S, and it's really cool, like gray color. So complete in box. I opened it up. I'm actually sitting right over there. I was playing New Vegas. It looks like it's never been played. It also came with Hasbro Family Fun Pack Conquest Edition, and it also came with a controller and one more game, which I believe I traded off. $30 for everything. They said 40. I was like 30, and they took it. So awesome deal. Yeah, and that was staying in my collection because my old Xbox One was like the OG one that's just like a tank. So that was actually nice next to my TV. So $30, hard to say no to. And next, so now we're getting into the finds from today that kind of caused me to create these videos. All these finds are good, but today's were just like a step above. So me and Hannah, we were yard sailing, and we went up to a sale, and they didn't really have anything out. It was really, really scattered, and we were like, hey, do you have any video game stuff? And he asked if I was a reseller. I was like, no, I collect. Which always important to like, if you're ever asking, always let them know, hey, I'm actually playing this stuff. Because like 2 houses before, this dude who like, I just immediately clocked as like a reseller. He was like telling the dude how he sold on like Amazon FBA as his career. And, you know, so like, I feel like people are way more likely to like go inside the house if they know it's actually going to like a good home instead of like, you know, just retail prices online. Maybe that's just me. But so like I was like, no, I'm playing the stuff. And then he mentioned Super Nintendo and PlayStation 2. And it takes, this is probably the longest I've ever waited, like at the sale. Like we went away for 10 minutes and came back. I mean, I'm very glad they looked, honestly, but we were there for like probably like 30, 40 minutes. Well worth it though, well worth it. And this kind of ramps up, but stick with me here. So it was $5 a game. Hannah got Okami for 10. I don't know why it was 10 for that one. I mean, it's definitely worth like well over 10. But she got that one. I got WWF. Oh, we got a truck ad on the lo-fi, the peek behind the curtain. I'm using lo-fi, duty-free, like copyright-free music. And it's also Ram Truck Month, so sponsored by Ram. So these are all $5 each. I got WWF SmackDown, Just Bring It. I know some of these wrestling games are kind of rare, so I was kind of like, let me pick it up for $5. And then I got a stack of Super Nintendo games for $5 each, which it's been a while since I found any Super Nintendo stuff. So pretty happy with that. Saturday Night Slam Masters, but it's a Capcom one. I think it's like a $30 game or so. Capcom games for like Super Nintendo are just like, they're so good. They were cooking, honestly. This is B.O.B. with property of Hollywood Video like carved into it. Like that's not like, that's actually like that's wild. I don't know how they like engraved it into there. Super Mario World, always a classic. There's an awfully placed label on the front, but it's toys. Batman Returns, Konami one, another company of just like they're just cooking. They were in their bag. Timon and Pumbaa, love that series as a kid. And this one, so there were 3 Ren and Stimpy games released for Super Nintendo. I did not think this was the valuable one. I think it's like Vidiots, Fire Dogs, and then this one. And I thought Vidiots was the valuable one. But I looked it up, and this is actually the valuable one. It's a little worn on the top, but I think it'll clean up nicely. It's Ren and Stimpy Buckaroos for Super Nintendo. And I don't know why, but this is like a $200 game online. I've been keeping an eye for a while because it was kind of like, I don't know why, like a random like Nickelodeon game that's just like super hard to find. But yeah, very happy to add to my collection. It must be good if it's worth that much, honestly. Like if there's 2 other ones that are also Ren and Stimpy and not really worth that much, this one must be pretty good. So that was definitely the best of the lot. And yeah, just an awesome find to have. And then it was a neighborhood sale we're going through. I then found Billy Joel Greatest Hits Volume 1 and Volume 2. Vienna waits for you, as they say. Both discs are in there. This was $1. I'm just a big Piano Man fan, you know? So for $1, perfect for Subi. So awesome. And this last find, I'm not gonna lie to you, this may be the best find of the year in terms of like what is spent versus what it is like worth. And this is the most like, I don't know, I almost felt nostalgic about this to like, you know, Grazia back in like 2015, like high school. And like, it just like, I don't come across these lots too much anymore. Like the lot before, you know, $5 a game, that was good. There every now and then are just lots that are like, this is comedically cheap. Like this is so inexpensive. So we went up, he had a few kind of Dremel bits, like just miscellaneous stuff. And I asked if he had video game stuff. And I think I mentioned handheld as well. And he looked at me, he looked at this dude, he's like, let me go check. He goes inside, comes back out, he has a little box of stuff, and open it up as like a Retron, as an N64, and it was kind of right at the top. And I already have an N64. Maybe I should have gotten the Retron. Honestly, I was kind of like, I wanted to leave him, like, you know, I'm mainly just looking for the game, so I'm like, I'll leave him that stuff for him. But underneath was some miscellaneous N64, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance stuff. And so I pulled out 6 games, and I was like, all right, how much would you like for these? And I was in the mindset of like, oh, I paid $5 each earlier, so I'll probably say 30, 25. He says $10. And I say, great. And then I pull out 3 more games that I was kind of like, we'll see how pricey it is. And I said, how much for these? And he said, you can have those. So $10 for this lot. 9 games. And we'll start off with Tom and Jerry for Game Boy Color, which I don't think I've ever seen that one, so that'll be fun to try out. Madagascar, amazing movie, classic movie. Yu-Gi-Oh! Eternal Duelist Soul. I know some of these Yu-Gi-Oh! Are like hard to find. I don't know if that one is. In a similar vein, Crash and Spyro Super Pack. I know some of these combo cards are like really hard to find. So maybe that one, definitely gonna give it a try. Spyro Season of Flame. A game I absolutely have disdain for, but don't have, Mario Kart Super Circuit. I just love the like 3D ones. There's nothing here for me. Honestly, that's like the one game in the series I'm just like, I don't feel anything towards this. That's just me though. Speaking of Mario Kart 64, one of my favorite Mario Karts in the series. He had like Donkey Kong 64 as well. But I think I'm like 15 for that, so I was like, that's fine. I'll leave it with the, he can like play with the N64. And then the last 2, neither of these have a label, but we definitely know what they are. It is Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Crystal. Now, neither of these have a label, but kind of like looking at the markings on the back, like you can see like 2000 Nintendo, and just kind of like the way it looks, these are real. As far as I can tell, these are real. So I'll definitely swap out the batteries on these so they can like actually save. But yeah, it's been so long since I found like Game Boy Advance Pokemon games at a yard sale. I think the last one was literally like 2 or 3 years ago on my birthday. I found Fire Red, but yeah. So that whole lot, $10. I said fantastic. And then we didn't really find. They had some games here and there. It was like another neighborhood, and they're like, "Oh, you're the 4th person who's asked." But yeah. So I was just ecstatic with that. Like the value with that $10 is just awesome. So yeah, that was. I believe that was it for my haul. Yeah, so that was like two weeks of finds. But yeah, just awesome finds today. The Ren and Stimpy, the Pokemon Crystal, all the Game Boy Advance stuff, the Xbox, the Pokemons, and just some awesome stuff to add to the collection. And yeah, just awesome find to have. So I want to thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram @Logza. If you have any stuff you want to sell, I always pay well. So follow me there. And yeah, have a great rest of your day and take care.